Hello and welcome to Zelda Speedruns 3. Today we have a very hype match for you between dataplet, who I believe is a number 68 seed, and Gus, who I believe is a number 74 seed. And this is losers bracket round 2. So whoever wins is going on, and whoever loses, unfortunately, is out of the tournament. And today I am joined by Residador on commentary, and I will turn it over to you.
Hello everybody, how you doing? As Norinado said, Dataplet and Gus today, losers bracket match here. Dataplet originally won against Dr. Bobtastic and lost against Goomba. Gus lost against 1UP and then won against Sir Link-A-Lot, and here we are. So let's see which way these guys like to open. Pretty traditional opening at this point is to do the fake flipper to Witch's Hut and do the Houlihan. We also see a lot of castle opens to go check the tree pool and the drop down there. Looks like Dataplet's doing the fake flipper, and Gus is just checking the house and going straight to Sanctuary. Seeing nothing really in either spot, so let's see. Sanctuary is actually at the Houlihan spot today, so Gus technically saving a little bit of time just by walking out of Sanctuary. Although he is going to have to abandon the Witch's Hut at the moment. And the Witch's Hut needs a bomb. It's Agnes Cave, so we're going to have to come back to that later anyway. So when you Houlihan, you get 225 rupees. Yeah, it looks like Data's trying to actually farm for a bomb just to see if he can get one real quick. 225 rupees helps you take care of early potential resources, buying bombs, getting the bottle vendor item that's in Kakariko, maybe purchasing hints from NPCs, little things like that. Well, first tree pull is small magic, not too bad. And today the Uncle Drop has Ganon. All right. Data gonna go ahead and do the same Houlihan. We'll see where he wants to go from the house. They don't really have a great way to Kakariko. No matter what they do, they're going to have to do some walking. And we found the entrance to Paradox Cave in the castle, but it is the entrance that you can't get to unless you have the mirror that you can sequence break through. Looks like Data's going to go straight to the castle as well and check that drop, and Gus is taking the northern route to Kakariko. Gonna check Sanctuary on his way. Can't get into this drop without a glove unless it's the Uncle Drop, which you can just walk right into. Looks like it's the Thief, so we're gonna scout this item out and see if we need to come back later. And we probably do, because there's a sword just taunting us, unable to get there. Data getting the news about Paradox. Don't have a mirror yet, but if we do find a mirror anytime soon, they'll probably prioritize that entry. Looks like Data is actually going to explore the areas around Kakariko, or before outside of Kakariko. We found both ends of Spectacle Rock, but Dataplet finding the side that can actually get to the item, and we found the well inside of the Lumberjacks. That's interesting. That's 5 items locked up. Found the Smith in the forest. That's not really the best spot. spectral rock goes here. Spectral rock comes out of Hype Cave, so that allows them to check a few things without the Moon Pearl, but not really great this way. Alright, well, we found chicken huts. Can't get anything out of there just. There's a few things they can do as a bunny. One of them being talk to NPCs. They can also push blocks, maybe use the mirror to travel through connectors. But they are pretty limited in what they can do as a bunny. Dataplet's mainly just doing scouting here for things he may have to come back to. Meanwhile, Gus is making their way into Kakariko and finds the good side of Paradox Cave. So, gonna go ahead and go in here, it looks like. Throw a bomb maybe first to kill him. You can get 7 items out of here with only bombs. It can be a little tricky, but if you place a couple of them in certain spots as soon as you walk in the room, you can tend to get all 3 of the mold orbs in the upstairs area. Dataplet going to get to look at that sword that they have no way to get to yet. Oh, a hammer. Well, that's a pretty nice item. Alright, so hammer is about the only thing we found in Paradox Cave, but definitely. Gus not going to take the other exit for now because he has a real possibility of getting and Dataplet getting the not so welcome news that the Kakariko well is blocked by item 1 today. That's always going to be something that's going to be on your mind, and it's not a good feeling. Meanwhile, we found one side of Hyrule Castle here in Kakariko. There's 3 items you can get out of here immediately. A 4th if you can do the Dark Room. Only one of the items is in Logic Cares at the moment, but it is an item that doesn't require any equipment to get to. So it has a real possibility of being something good. Alright, so the only in-logic item here is not too worthwhile. This is only locked by a sewer's castle key though, so it's very easy to skip. We got a small key to GT, helpful for routing when we find Ganon's Tower. You only need, if you get to Ganon's Tower in the right circumstances, you can full clear it with only 2 keys. So, really, the only first couple are something to really get excited about. To hammer making this ball and chain guard pretty easy. Oh, another pod key, also pretty handy. Dataplet looks like they're gonna put Paradox Cave off for the moment because getting by those mold worms can be a little hard. You gotta use your bombs well enough. Although he's stuck up a heart, so he may be trying to go right back. Alright, we find the well is Uncle today. Oh, a small key tower here. That'll be handy if they have a fire source when they find Hera. Otherwise, it'll be kind of useless to us in that regard. Ooh, bottle vendor having the flute, which is pretty much the best and most convenient place to find the flute. This early, also really great because you can get around to the rest of the world very easily. Meanwhile, we find Laser Bridge, which has 4 items you can get out of sequence if you are capable of doing laser skips, which Gus is doing pretty good with. 2 of them you can get without laser skips if you damage boost with iframes. We found a shovel and a small key to Ice Palace, and I think a small Misery Mire key based on the tracker. I'm not really sure. Oh no, because dataplet already has that too. Nope, dataplet went out the other side of Paradox and definitely got locked out, which is one of the dangers of checking early connectors. So now they're going to put off Kakariko for now, which is a little unfortunate because they are going to miss that flute for a few minutes. Looks like we found the good end of Super Bunny in Light World Hype Cave, as it's sometimes referred to, right below Link's house, while Gus actually found the other end of it in fact. So interestingly enough, we've already already eliminated all the connectors we've seen except for the castle. I think we found all 3 entrances of Paradox and both ends of Super Bunny Cave. So neither one of those is going to be useful as connectors. But we did find Mini Moldorm Cave in Kakariko. That is another 5 items that we can get right away. Meanwhile, dataplet, remembering that he has an item up here behind a bomb, is going to go right back. But in the meantime, we're going to find that getting let out of Kakariko is going to hurt him a little bit because the Moon Pearl is in Mini Moldorm Cave. He also did find another Palace of Darkness key and the Hyrule Castle Sewers key, it looks like. So we do have everything in logic in the castle now. From the Data going back to the sanctuary, so they may be walking back to Kakariko now. Oh no, they're actually going to check the back of sanctuary, or the sewers chest here. It's 3 easy checks once you get a bomb. And we found a hookshot cave, but we don't have any way of getting anything out of it, so it's just another connector for us. Meanwhile, I think that Data has found the other mail. I think we found both the mail upgrades already. So Gus, having found that Moon Pearl, actually makes checking some of these connectors a little bit more attractive, because not having the Moon Pearl is the main reason why you would want to avoid possibly going to the Dark World this early. Moon Pearl makes it pretty free to check a connector, and no matter where you go in the world, you'll be able to do something usually. And that's one in the Bumper Cave, though if that's the end we can't do it. Well, we can't do anything with either end at this point. The other end would require either the hookshot or the cape. This side always requires the cape. And we found Swamp on Data's side. It didn't actually see where that was, but I'm about to find out. So far, the early connectors are not proving super good. A lot of them just lead to another spot on the layer. So we see a small key on the torch. That's something we may have to come back for later. And we got a hint that said something about bombs that I missed, but we'll see it again in a minute on data. So we still have a few viable connectors, but for the most part, a lot of these connectors are just immediately choosing to be, or proving to be useless. And that is actually a very good hint. That tells us that the firelock side of Mire is something we won't have to check today. Gus finding Swamp and getting this hint about the big key to Tower of Hera near the Elder. So Sahasrala's, the back of Sahasrala's entrance has the big key today, and dataplet unfortunately locking themselves out of Kakariko yet again without getting the Moon Pearl, which would have been very nice to have considering that he has just put himself into Mire. Does find a hint that he can check at least. Unfortunately, it's a joke. So we're kind of seeing a what diving connectors early with no easy way back to wherever you were could get you. You could be missing some good items in the areas that you're leaving behind. It's very easy to get shut out of a connector early in the game. So this is a real danger if you decide to go after connectors when you have not full cleared an area. And so we found Mire Shed in the Mire area on Data's side, just a little bit removed from its normal spot, but unfortunately he has no way to get the items in there. He cannot Super Bunny without the mirror, and he's not enough hearts to damage boost. Well, he's trying to attract that Zora, actually, but I don't think he can get the right angle on the fireball there. He's trying to damage boost as a super and get Super Bunny. It looks like he's now trying to get this bird. Oh yeah, he had blue mail, so he could have Super Bunnied with that damage boost, but got hit unfortunately a little bit too. Meanwhile, Gus is taking that flute straight to Death Mountain, which is a pretty understandable play. Finds a hint immediately, just about Ganon's Tower leading to a fairy fountain. You don't have to open Ganon's Tower very much in this mode. It is possible to have to do that, but then usually it's in the situation where Ganon's behind the lumberjack. It's usually not possible or likely in any other situation. Finds Spiral Cave up on the mountain. Not going to do that just yet. He's got some entrances still to check in the area. Does not want to get shut out. That is a one-way trip. And it looks like probably found the old man cave, but I couldn't really tell. He does not go for it right now. There's not a lot of great equipment to do this with. Some people don't know it as well without having like a sword or something like that to feel their way. Alright, well, we get another hint. This one's more useful. It tells us that the Hammer Peg's entrance is not going to be needed to be checked. Meanwhile, Data has made their way back to Kakariko. Hopefully they will full clear it this time. before diving into any other connectors because they need to get their moon pearl out of here. The flute is on the bottle vendor, and the pearl is in Mini Moldorm Cave, which is in one of the entrances that Data has not made their way to in Kakarot. Dataplet has found Laser Bridge and is going to do a damage boost through the first chest. I'm not sure how good they are at laser skips. Misses that one. The two middle chests are you're absolutely required to laser skip those without any kind of invulnerability items. The two in the top and the bottom are easy enough to do without that. And he missed that laser skip as well, but he has blue mail, so he was able to take a hit there and still make. Gets the last one though, and gets his shovel, which we know doesn't lead to anything helpful. Meanwhile, Gus is back in the dark cave, so this may be an old man rescue. Gonna use his shovel to show the way. And Dataplet has not got the top chest, so he's just gonna damage boost into this one as well. If you drop off the ledge, get yourself iframes, then you can just walk right through. Alright, Gus got the old man out of this cave. That gives us another save and quit point, which I don't think we've seen yet. He's got another cave or two to check here. Oh, we got a connector right here. Data getting their flute, and Gus finding that connector comes out to Floating Island, which is a good place to know about. He doesn't have a mirror, so he can't get the item just yet, or check the rest of East Death Mountain here. You can check these two Midslock spots. We have Sick Kid, but no bottle, so that's another thing we may have to come back to. Oh, but we have Flippers. That opens up a few checks that we have yet to do. Data finding Hookshot Cave, luckily not choosing to go through it at the moment. He still needs to go down here to get his pearl. I think it's in this entrance right here. Nope, it's one of the entrances near here that he hasn't checked yet. Alright, so remembering the last race I was watching. Gus is going to go to the right here and check these two entrances by the house. May pursue the eastern area since he doesn't have a glove. He does have this spectral rock item that he can get here. I think this was what was this? I don't remember. Just a small key to somewhere. Misery Mire. And lamp can be found in Gannon's Tower. I don't remember seeing that hint before. That's good to know. Alright. Gonna do some flipper checks. We are 29 rupees away from being able to do Zora, though, so Gus is probably hoping to be able to find some rupees here along the way before they go all the way up to Zora. Well, there you go. Perfect. Now you can easily check Zoro, not isolate anything up there. That's good to have. Okay, here's the entrance with the Moon Pearl for Data. Looks like he's not going to do Zoro just yet, though. He's going to use the flute to go check a few things. Agonist Cave, which is kind of annoying to get to a lot of times. It's over here in one corner of the world. Flute makes it a little better, but he accidentally just walked into a cactus and died. That is unfortunate. But we do get to see the old man save and quit. And it is right next to the Village of Outcasts. That is not a bad save and quit point at all. You can access a lot of entrances. Meanwhile, Data is going to go check the shovel and be slightly disappointed. Well, he needs some bombs, so maybe he won't be totally disappointed. And then we'll see where he wants to go. He's got this flute, so he could easily check a lot of the light world pretty quick. Looks like he's going back to town to check a connector, perhaps. Alright, on Gus' side, we found out that Swamp Palace and, what was that, Tower of Hair are 5/6s? I missed the second one. Data's gonna go back to the castle. Yeah, that makes sense. He can get 3 items here, then you know they're in logic. And, let's see here. Gus going north here. He's gonna have to isolate this, glove entrance for now. But it won't be too hard to get back to given where the old man is, so that's fine. Let's see. I think that's a reference to Super Money Cave, maybe? I don't remember. Oh wait, no, that was in Light World. I don't remember which cave that would be referencing. I don't believe there was just a couple of small keys in the escape sequence here. So, not super exciting, but helpful for routing overall. And it looks like Gus is going to go straight to Skull Woods. They do have a great save and quit point right next to here, so it doesn't really matter if they get locked out. They can go ahead and just clear everything out of here and be fine. Although it does look like we are not in a lockout situation today. And we got a glove, so we already have traditional Dark World access for Gus. Don't believe we've technically found a logical way to Skull Woods, because he got here via the old man save and quit. So this is not the intended way to get this glove, but there could just be a connector in the village somewhere. And oh, never mind. I thought it was no lamp. So yeah, the old man save and quit's not in logic. I'm assuming there's just one of these connectors that they have yet to check goes to Village of Outcasts or something like that. Speaking of connectors, it looks like one side of the castle just goes to the dam, which we have not seen yet. And we found our way to the desert ledge. I don't recall if there was anything good on the ledge. Nope, just money. So, nothing great there. Can't get to the back entrance without a glove, so he's gonna go ahead and check Agna. We'll see if he can make it to the cave so we can see it. Just a fortune teller, so Gus not missing out on anything at the moment, but they probably will end up rechecking that event. Data's gonna have to skip this glove entrance over here and isolate it, but with the flute, it's really not gonna be that bad. We found the Ether Medallion in Skullwood. Alright, so Data is going back to the house. He's got the flute, so he's gonna check some more Light World. It looks got our Flute 5 spot, which, given that we have the flute, very easy to get to. We find Eastern Palace. We don't have a lamp, a big key, or a bow, so there's only 3 items in logic here, but you can easily get to the 4th one, especially with red mail. You can tank a few hits from the enemies in here. Alright, so it looks like just a glove and ether inside of Skull Woods, but the glove is pretty valuable. It gives him a lot of access, a lot of easy access to a lot of spots. He already has very easy access to the Dark World, though, through this connector, or this old man saving point that he's going to go ahead and check the village of outcasts right now. This one of these may be one of the connectors that we haven't seen yet that would allow you to get to the glove. But we found the Turtle Rock right. The Turtle Rock right side entrance, the big chest entrance. Don't have a big key, but we can do this easy bomb jump that Gus just demonstrated to get to the middle and get at least 1 item, possibly 2 if you have a reliable way to kill the Pokey for the key. Looks like Gus is going to go for it. He does have the hammer, which is not the easiest way to kill that guy, but it is doable. It's going to be a little harder if you let all these anti-fairies in, though, because those guys are very Yeah, I think he's in a little bit of trouble. So far, yeah, it looks like he's just going to leave that for now. So far, it looks like Eastern hasn't really paid out anything interesting. Oh, we found the Palace of Darkness. We do not have a bow or a bottle. I don't know that Gus knows how to mimic clip. But he does have 2 keys, so he can get a fair way into the back. He can get this item right here is definitely in logic. There's 2 in the middle that are in logic. And then he can go back to the back and get 3 more items that are not in logic yet, but pretty easy to get to. And if he can hammer you up, I'm not sure if he can, that would be another 2 items that he could get if he could handle the Dark Maze without any real equipment. Okay, so Eastern giving us the Ice Rod, and not much else. Alright, so this chest is still in logic. Nope, nothing there. Skipping the drop-down chest for now, but he's already opened the front door, so if he death warps a little bit, or back here, then he can just go straight back to that and check. Gonna not really have an easy time doing a hammer jump at this point, because he's reduced his heart count. Yeah, he's pretty much out of the hammer jump business now. Well, we found Agate's Tower in the eastern area, maybe actually in eastern, it looks like. We can get 1 item out of here. Just a heart piece, though. It's good to know where this is, though. We may have to do this to get to the Kakariko Well today. Meanwhile, Gus finding a heart in the dark here, which makes the hammer jump more of a prospect that we can pull. And does it. Let's see how well they do in the dark maze here. Data taking a death somewhere. I didn't see where. I think he was in the overworld. Nope, he was in desert. Okay. Which is in Sahasrah's hut. Alright, 10 arrows out of the first chest, but we've got to make it all the way through this maze without getting hit at all now with half a heart. So we may not make it to the other chest. And we found a dark cave in... Oh, sorry, I'm lying. We found Hera in Eastern. And I looked away for half a second. I don't think that Gus made it to the chest, though. Or did he? Oh, he got the pod compass. That's great. And I'm just now realizing that Data actually found every Light World dungeon in the eastern area, which is pretty hilarious. Alright, Data's got the flute out. I don't think he's been up to the mountain yet, so there's a lot he could do up there. Looks like he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. Meanwhile, Gus has done all he can in Palace of Darkness. Did get 8 items out of there, but only Cape was worthwhile. Interestingly enough, Gus knows where a sword is that's blocked by the gloves, and he has not gone for that. It's not too hard to get. That probably would have made the Palace of Darkness a little bit easier to do. All those dark... Got the waterfall fairy here, and there's a bottle, so Gus will be able to turn in Sick Kid eventually once he makes his way back. Looks like Data's going through Spectacle Rock, which I think we already saw the other side of. I want to say this was Mire? Or am I thinking of another connector? No, this was Hype Cave, okay. So for Data, this was an easy way to get back to the Dark World. And we found Thieves Town in maybe the Hammer House or the archery game, I didn't see which. Also with the hook shot, so that is nice. Oh, the brewery, a third place that also could have been in the same area. Imagine forgetting that spot. Oh, with the mitts. Okay. Well, Thieves Town having a little bit of good stuff for us today, and it does appear that we were supposed to either find the lamp or make our way here via connector. I don't think we saw a connector in the area so far that would have gotten us here. So probably supposed to get the lamp out of GT maybe, if we can figure out where that's at. Or the connector could come out of the rock entrance that we couldn't get into in or the bumper cave exit. Oh, Hammer House, okay. So yeah, looks like we're missing a lamp or a connector somehow. And we got the Swamp Small on Stumpy, it looks like. We do still have a few possibilities that could have GT inside of them, I think. So it could just be the lamp, but it could also be that one of the connectors we haven't seen comes out of that bumper ledge. That seems more likely. Also, it could come out of the actual bumper ledge itself. Either the top or bottom would be good. And Gus forgetting that when you pick up a follower, you cannot do digging games, so he is now going to have to come back to that. Meanwhile, dataplet is doing the digging game at the same time. Little high five for the runners. Only gets a 20, big 20 for us. About to get his Swamp Small though. Did we see the Smiths? I don't remember seeing the Smiths, but there's only so many places the Smiths could actually be. So, and he has the way to get to wherever they could be. Alright, so the Smith is only ever locked by the mitts, which basically means only ever locked by the the gloves. Oh yeah, the Smiths was in the top of Lost Woods. That's correct. We do know where they are. But usually, even if you haven't fully checked the Light World, it's pretty safe to pick the Smiths up because they're only ever going to be glove locked in the Light World. Looks like the Hookshot Cave goes to the race game. Got a small key for us here. Just a small Skullwoods key, not that great. And Gus finding the bottom of Spectacle Rock without ever having to actually go through it, so that's good for them. And I think Data is now going back to the mire area. I think there was maybe one item in the mire area they could get to. I don't remember exactly what was over there that they checked. Oh yeah, Mire Shed. He tried to damage boost into that and he could not. Meanwhile, Gus gonna check this chicken hut that we saw earlier as well and could not get the item out. Just bombs on that side. Let's see if Mire Shed has anything. Gus actually having the flippers can take the frog on quite the adventure. Gonna check the Dark Ice Rod Cave area. Meanwhile, we just see a Turtle Rock small key inside of the Mire Shed, so not really worth the return trip at the moment, but off his checklist at least. Let's see where Data goes. Now, the mountain is looking a lot more attractive because he has yet to do it, and that is exactly what he's going to do. Meanwhile, Gus is going to have to be careful going through here because he only has one heart left. And everything in the Dark World hits pretty hard, so I think that he's got to be, can't really get hit at all. Alright, Data finding their way to the top of Dark Death Mountain. Doesn't have a glove either, so that's not going to help them out. They're going to basically just have to scout this area out and come back for the sick kid as well, because they still don't have a bottle either. And we found the Pyramid Fairy in the Dark Ice Rod area. Just a map, however. Oh yeah, the flippers are over here for dataplet, so that's looks like she's giving away free blue potion. That's pretty. Alright, so Gus going to Sanctuary, probably going to drop the Smiths off in the Lost Woods. Let's see if they remember to get this sword on the way. There's a sword at the drop in Sanctuary, which, by the way, what drop are we missing for the pyramid? What have we not seen? Definitely saw Ganon, the well, Thief. Saw, did we see Lumberjack? Maybe that's the one we're missing. We saw the fairy, they dropped into that. I think we may be missing the Lumberjack, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I thought the sword was the thief. I'm like, pretty sure. We saw Uncle, yeah. The Magic Bat and the Uncle are the two I'm not 100% sure that we've seen any at all. The Uncle was in the Cackwell, I believe, actually. Or the Lost Woods, one or the other. Ganon's at the castle, I think. Ganon's at the castle, I want to say. Alright, so Gus has the gloves. He can check this entrance on the way. And It appears that Data is not... Oh, never mind. He is going to check the Zora area. This is a thing we haven't seen yet. He has flippers and a lot of money. Behind this glove, we have found the vacated desert palace, however. That's nice. Alright, so we're about to get a smith turning on Gus's side here. See if they're worth it today. So, since Data does not appear to... Well, he still has to clear a lot of the mountain. He only checked, like, a couple of things. Like, if he rescues the old man, he'll have an easy way to his gloves. If not, he's gonna need to figure out where the connector is that probably takes him over to that side of the world. Looks like the Smiths were not worth it today. Gus is back up on the mountain already. Where is he gonna... Oh, he's got a hook shot, so he's gonna go to East Death Mountain, which is a great place. Or not. Oh, we have powder on the bat, on the Zora, that is, so, I believe that the magic bat is, somewhere that we can get to. Actually, interestingly enough, Data can get to the pod area as well, so he has a little bit of a choice, a lot of choices, that is, for the possibility of where this either GT is or his connector to the Western Dark World, which is where his two gloves are both sitting. Alright, so Bat being here means, I think, is confirmation that the Lumberjack is at Gaines Tower, because those were the two I wasn't sure about. We did find Hype Cave over here on East Death Mountain. Gives us Bombos, which could be useful. A couple of maps, I think only one of those was useful though. Powder not paying out for us. Data should be going to the... They're really like running out of stuff to do. Alright, well, we got Skull Woods on East Death Mountain as well. We do not have a way to defeat this dungeon just yet, but we can get an item out of here. Data, meanwhile, up on the mountain. I don't think we saw what was in Spiral Cave yet on Gus's side, so that's a thing that could be a new... that could be new information. It could also be the connector that we need to get to the Western Dark World for Data. They may rescue the old man, though, and shortcut their way over there like Gus did. Looks like they're trying using bombs. The shovel or hammer might be a better choice in this case, but bombs could work as well. And it looks like Gus, having cleared the East Death Mountain, is going to go right back to City Kid and check what his item is. Meanwhile, we see Skullwoods is a pendant, Pod is a crystal, and I missed what the other one was. I want to say the other one was Ice. Was a crystal, maybe? Maybe somebody else saw the tail end of that and could check. But Skull was a red pendant and Pod was a crystal, I saw for sure. Alright, Data has the old man, so they can actually now shortcut their way to the gloves. That's good too. Still have to wait a little bit to see what the logical access is, but you know, rules are mere suggestions for entrance runners. Spiral Cave is a pretty strong possibility. We've seen a lot of the other connectors, so There's also a lot that you can access logically in the pod area with the flippers, so it could be something over there. Looks like Hookshot Cave gave us a map to Swamp, but we already knew what that was, so that's not really helpful. And Data, maybe, well, I think they still have another, they've got this check. They may go through Hookshot Cave, I don't know. I don't think we ever saw the Dark Death Mountain checks either on the west side from, that's 2 more entrance possibilities. Alright, I think Data's almost out of entrances over here, so let's see what they do. Meanwhile, Gus found their key there, and gonna have to decide where they want to go next. And Data is going to check the Dark Death Mountain entrances that I don't think we saw from Gus. It looks like Gus is going to check and see where the middle of desert goes. We know that goes to Mire. Only thing of interest over there that we can currently reach is Mire Shed, which doesn't have anything good in it. It has a Turtle Rock small key. Oh yeah, he does have this big key. I don't think we've seen the item here. Alright, so Data has rescued the old man, which gives him easy access to the West Dark World and to the 2 gloves that he is missing and the hookshot, but is currently going to check something up on the mountain first, perhaps go through Spiral Cave, it looks like. I think that's all that he has that he can really do up here. So this may give us an answer for our logic here soon. It's a little obnoxious to get through here though without a sword. It's got red mail though, that makes it a little better. Can tank a few hits from these mold arms on the way. Just finding a shield in here. Let's see where the exit to this is. Alright, so that is not where the connector... or that's not the thing that leads to where we need to go. And neither is... no, Cape was... where was Cape? I feel like Cape was somewhere out of Logic 2, so that could not be the answer either. I think the Cape was in the Village of Outcast area as well. Oh, also we saw the other end of Bumper Cave anyway, I think, somewhere in the Light World maybe? Don't have it marked, but I'm pretty sure we saw it. Alright, we're gonna get a check of this rock that the Data had to leave earlier. And we get Spike Cave, which is not quite doable, I think, unless he... well, he has a potion and the cape, so it might be. But he'd have to use basically all of his resources to get to it. Oh, we found our way to Hera somehow. How did we get there? Oh, was that the laser exit at Turtle Rock, maybe? Okay, that makes sense. So that's a few more things he can check here, and he has easy access to get back to Turtle Rock, and we found Ganon's tower, so I want to say that the lamp is not our answer either, based on where Ganon's tower is. Big Key to Ice Palace. There's the lamp. Easy access anyway. So either the mirror is available. No, he didn't get to this in a logical way though. So this is not the answer yet that we know of. So that could either mean that the mirror is available, or we still have a connector that we have yet to check. We do have the entire pod area open via the flippers, so there could be a mirror over there. As of right now, though, we are still not quite in. And it looks like Data's going to go even further afield of the logic by doing a couple of bomb jumps here. Actually, he could get into this with the hook shot that he could get to, but that hook shot's still not in logic either. Got ourselves a castle tower key. And his first bottle, although I don't think Sick Kid had anything. Yeah, I can't decide if that means that we're missing the mirror or a connector. I think a mirror could be possible on the pod side, maybe. We still haven't seen the Zora area either, actually, so there could just be a mirror up there. Like, they've had these flippers for a while, and they have not done all the checks to them. Oh wait, did we see Zora? No, we saw Zora, right? I mean, I may be getting confused with last race. I don't... Okay, Data did go to Zora. Never mind. So, Palace of Darkness area seems more likely than the West Dark World. Or, East Dark World, then. Data gonna continue on doing these bomb jumps here. Don't know if... Well, he definitely doesn't have enough health. So GT with our easy access lamp. We saw this, I feel like, on Gus's side because he had the mids coming in here. We don't need that. So this is going to be all stuff that Gus managed to check with his hook shot. Data managed to find himself another way there. So who gets to be the first one to close the logic gap is the question. And what's your vote? Is it a connector or a mirror over on the Palace of Darkness side? Alright, looks like Desert and Eastern. Eastern is our green pendant, Desert is a blue pendant, and Harrow is a crystal, I think. Well, obviously Harrow is a crystal. I think it was on the map, though, so... he has not checked the Dark World map yet, so he doesn't have all the information just... Alright, we see Gus about to do the eastern area, then maybe the pod area after that. We do know all three of the Light World dungeons are over here in the eastern area, so he'll find all of them. Actually, Agatower's over here too, so all four of the entrances in the eastern area are every Light World dungeon. That makes it even better. Theoretically, we only need to do Hera, but that is just in theory, of course. I expect him to probably dive in and just do... No, he doesn't have a fire source, so he can't, no. Alright, so Data going back to the Dark World will be able to get a glove or two out of this side. I think he has to go right. No, he has to go into Skull Woods to get a glove, I believe, and then Thieves Town as well. So he'll get one from Thieves Town first, it looks like. Finds Palace of Darkness, though, first. He also has the potential to get 8 items out of here if he does this the same way that Gus did. Looks like Gus is considering a key steal for Desert. It is a pendant, so it would be probably less hurtful in this case. Then again, if Land Molus has something, it could end up being an issue. But we'll see what he does with it. So between the two runners, at least we have full pendant knowledge, so that's nice. Full pendant and crystal knowledge. I don't recall there being a lot in the back of Palace of Darkness. Yeah, he doesn't have a potion, I don't think, and I don't know whether he knows how to mimic flip either, so... Alright, so Gus has found all of their Light World dungeons now in the eastern area. Let's see what they want to do next. And Data taking a death warp, so it doesn't look like they're planning on hamburger. Alright, we have this cave here that I believe we know did not have anything in it. Yeah, just more money. Alright, so Data is going to the right side. Maybe... Oh, I thought he was going to read the hint, but it looks like he's just... So he's pretty close to Thieves Town, so he should be able to get his gloves at least soon. Also had his hook shot there, I believe. And then I'm trying to think if there was anything else good around. Meanwhile, Gus is looking for something in Kakariko, but I'm not sure what. He did get his powder, so he's going to check the magic bat. Looked like he was trying to find a connector there for a second. Hey, Data does have a potion now. If he actually wants to go back to Pod and Potion Glitch, he can do that real quick. He's pretty close by. He did all the stuff to the south of this already, so he doesn't have any reason to go south, really. I expect he'll go north after he gets this stuff. Meanwhile, Gus is back on the mountain, checking Spiral Cave, it looks like, potentially. Interestingly enough, despite having the flute and the hammer and gloves, Gus has not gone to the Palace of Darkness area yet. It's fairly easy to get to. And speaking of gloves, Data should have theirs momentarily. Gus making their way to the Turtle Rock Bridge. They know that they can't do anything without the mirror here. We've already seen the other end of Bumper Cave somewhere, which I think he's realized. Oh, maybe he's going. But I'm pretty sure we saw this somewhere. Yeah, okay, it was just in Kakariko. Looks like Data's gonna take those gloves immediately to get that sword before they even do anything else, which is understandable. Meanwhile, Gus is back in Kakariko, possibly to check a connector. Yeah, no, we saw all three sides of Paradox, but I don't think Gus saw the other side. Yeah, okay, Gus had not gone through that yet. So, still checking connectors despite having easy access to the Palace of Darkness area, but I think he's finally gonna do that now. Alright, so this may finally provide us our logical answer. There's a connector that's pretty easy to get through. He's not going to go through it despite being pretty adamant about checking connectors a couple of minutes ago. But that could easily be the logical connector to our gloves and mitts and hook shot. And meanwhile, Data is going into Skull Woods, which will give him mitts pretty fast. And we also get to see what's in the Palace of Darkness entrance. Have yet to see this. And it looks like Blind Sut's over here, so this could be something good. Big Key to Swamp, and there's our mirror, so logic loop closed. I mean, there may be a connector also, but the mirror puts the lamp in logic, which gives you the old man save, which gives you the old man saving quit, and gets you over to Western Dark World. So that mirror seems like the likely answer that for what they were supposed to do, but they did manage to shortcut their way around that pretty easily by saving the old man, because the sequence they were supposed to take is a lot more obnoxious. So they were supposed to get the flippers and then swim over here to get the mirror. By going through Spectacle Rock as a connector of all things, which is gross. And Data has their mitts in hand, so where will they choose to go next? They still have some stuff they can check in the Northern Dark World when they get done with here. I expect Gus is going to check this entrance and then head over to the pyramid, because he can check all three entrances on the castle with the cape in hand. It's another small GT key for him. He has hammer and hook shot, so he can do a lot in GT when he finds it. Data getting a little cardio in while they wait for the hand to come pick them up. Alright, so we're walking back out, so I think Data's just going to check the rest of the Northern Dark World here. Meanwhile, Gus finds the silvers on the pyramid. Don't have the bow yet, so we can't do anything with those, but it's nice to have those. Oh, it's an interesting mirror spot. Alright, we got Mimic Cave, so that's an item we can reach. And meanwhile, Data's going to check this entrance, which I don't think we've seen yet on Gus's. Just the bomb restock room, so nothing good. And gets his information about Swamp and being a 5/6, Ice and Pod being crystals. So still doesn't give him full info because he does not have the map for Skull Woods yet, it looks like. Meanwhile, the top of Hyrule Castle, not very interesting today. Looks like Gus is going to do the Dark Witch's Hut and then move on to Catfish. And possibly Zora if he hasn't done that yet. I don't think he has. I think that Data will end up in the pod area pretty quick at this point, considering that they have the flute and gloves and a hammer, and probably get to their mirror pretty fast. So I think overall we're looking pretty even. Well, Data knows where GT is though, so that actually maybe gives them a little bit of a leg up. Because that's a lot of items that they can easily access once they find the mirror. Looks like Catfish was nothing. I guess Gus already did the Zora area because he didn't mirror there. And we get to see where this connector goes. And it was definitely not the connector. So the mirror was 100% the answer for getting to the lamp and getting to the Western Dark World by saving the old. Nice little shortcut for the runners there, being able to rescue the old man before they did all that. Looks like Gus is going to check Graveyard Ledge for us. Meanwhile, Data is going to be able to get his mirror here very shortly. And we'll see what he wants to do with it. He does know that GT is on Death Mountain. He can also check the floating island and top of East Death Mountain with the mirror pretty easily via the flute. So that seems like a pretty valuable play once he gets this mirror in hand. He's about to get his mirror right now. He's walking towards it, this entrance. Meanwhile, Gus gonna go check the bumper cave here. He has not seen this just yet. So yeah, I'd say the runners are pretty even at this point, with Data maybe having a slight edge for knowing where Ganon's tower is, because he has hammer and hook shot and that's a lot of items you can get easy access to pretty fast. I don't expect Gus to take a huge amount of time to find his way to Ganon's tower either, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Data kind of rush that. Of course, I think he'll probably do the same thing that Gus did earlier and walk over to the Pyramid Cat and do the Hyrule Castle checks and also Catfish as well, since he's in the area. Meanwhile, Gus is going to check Hammer Pigs, perhaps? No, we know Hammer Pigs is dead from a hint. So, Purple Chest, maybe? And meanwhile, Data, having found the lamp, and while he's in the pod area, is going to put that mirror to immediate use and check the Hera basement, which we have not seen. couple new checks on both sides here. Purple chest is just a compass, an unfortunate waste of time today, and now we are going to do Spike Cave. Okay. This is not yet in logic, but with this potion and this cape, it should be doable. I think I would probably go for the potion first, because I don't know if he has enough to do this with just the cape, and I think he's gonna die. Yep, unfortunate. And we got ourselves a piece of heart out of the basement, so also a useless check, unfortunately. Alright, so we're going to the light world. Where are we going to go now, Gus? Mire area with the mirror, it looks like. It's not a bad idea. We do know that Desert Left is a connector that we already have access to, but I don't think that Gus ever came out of it. But he can check total of 4 entrances with the mirror here that he has not seen. Day of finding the Pond of Happiness. Just gonna go ahead and buy some extra bombs and arrows, because why not? He's got a lot of money. Alright, I don't think we saw this on anybody's side yet. And we found some hospital, which means we're about to get the Tower of Hera big key. Gus getting the information about the Eastern Palace pendant being green. As expected, there's our Hera big key via hint. So that is a dungeon that Gus can now complete, although he may try to clear some entrances with the mirror first, and he checks his map really quick, and I don't know if he got any information out of that, because that was a really quick check. I certainly didn't see anything on it. And we have found Ice Palace in Desert, Maine today. We could go in here with the Bombos medallion. We could actually full clear this except for the big chest if we really wanted to. And it looks like Gus may be in the mood to do with Fire Sword. It's not that attractive at the moment, but I mean, it's does have red mail, and I mean, the big chest is going to be the real big question mark. He did just have to use his potion to get in here, so I don't think he has any more potion. That's another consideration. Alright, Data, meanwhile, making our way through some of the same checks that we saw on Gus's side once he found this mirror. And then I expect him to finish a catfish, and then if I were him, I would rush to the mountain and get GT, start clearing GT, check the floating island on the way, and the Paradox top entrance, which we have not. No, he's seen the Paradox top entrance because he came out of the laser bridge, so I don't remember if he saw it was on floating island, so he may not even need to worry about clearing floating island on the way. I don't recall what was up there. But I would be pretty tempted to rush GT with a hammer and hook shot. It's not that hard to get to if you go through Turtle Rock either. Actually, either Floating Island or Turtle Rock, neither one of those spots is hard to get. What was that, a hint that we just saw? I missed it. Didn't say which one though? Well, that kind of sucks. We don't have a book anyway, so we're a little ways away from having to worry about Data gonna get their nothing from Catfish. Meanwhile, we're about to get to the main portion of Ice Palace and start getting a few more checks in. See where Data wants to go next from here. Don't think he really wanted to pick that up. It looks like he accidentally got it. Oh, he hasn't checked the Dark Ice Shard area either, actually, so that is something he can go ahead and get out of the way. And then we'll see where he wants to go from there, I guess. Oh, we have a bow inside of Ice Palace. So that gets us... No, it doesn't really get us a lot at the moment, but it is nice to find early rather than... also a big heated pod, so if we find another Palace of Darkness small key, we could theoretically just go ahead and kill Helmasaur if we... So Ice Palace not being worthless today. We have a few things we needed. Also a small key to pod, so now we definitely could just go kill Helmasaur if we wanted to. This is the pod care package inside of Alright, Data checks their map and gets the Skullwoods info, so they are now aware of what they need. Oh, they haven't checked the Light Rod Ice Shard area yet either, so this is pretty good for them. A little bit of a doubling up here on the Looks like Gus is going to skip the last hit in Ice Palace for now. Or forever, probably. And of course, as expected, we have to skip the big chest and go straight to Cold Stare for a crystal and maybe something good, we'll see. Data, meanwhile, is going to go check Ice Palace entrance, maybe? Alright, so he has most of his heart still. He has Bombos and a hammer, so this could go pretty okay as long as he doesn't get hit too much. Could do fighter spins, but that takes a long freaking time. Taking a couple of hits right off the bat, he's going to have to be careful here. I don't think he has any potions or safeties left after he used that one. Getting a few good hits in there. Trying to hug the top so that he doesn't get hit by the ice balls, but unfortunately he gets hit by a puff instead. So I don't think that was really worth it, and unfortunately takes a death. And this is the kind of death that really hurts, because Cold Star is very far away. Looks like Data's going to check the mire areas instead of going straight back to GT, so maybe he ends up inside Ice Palace pretty soon too. We'll see. Demonstrating that you can mirror behind these rocks, even though he does have the mirror and does not need to do that. About to get his hair big key here. Reflexively talking to Sahasrara, even though he already had the information. And it looks like we're done in the mire area for now. We'll see if Data wants to go in Ice Palace or if he wants to hold off because he doesn't have the big key yet. That is sometimes a consideration for runners. Meanwhile, Gus is going to take the hair big key, go right back to Moldorm. Still does not have a fire source, so he still can't check the basement. So he's super isolating that. course, it's nothing, so he won't have to go. Doesn't mean he won't at some point. Alright, and Data immediately finding the other end of the cave he already saw in somewhere recently, I think in Ice Palace entrance. About to find Ice Palace. Will he do it? I think Data has more than one potion. I think he has 2 bottles of blue potion. So, that would actually make it a little easier for him to deal with this. Looks like he's gonna go right in, yeah. Alright. Got a mushroom in, here, and we find out the big chest of Thieves Town has a small pod key, which might actually be useful to grab if we, depending on how long it takes us to get the pieces to get to that. And we do have a big key to Misery Mire. Cannot full clear it yet, and we have not seen Mire yet. But we do need that at some point. Yeah, so Data is not having to use his potion right away to come in here. So he gets to come in here with 2 blue potions and have a much higher chance of surviving Cold Stare. Skipping that small magic, I don't know if I'd do that even with Bomb. We want to try to save as much magic as possible just in case. I suppose he can probably make it to the bottom without having to refill his magic though, so probably be alright. Well, yeah, there's a couple of magic pots on the way, so I guess it's alright. Meanwhile, we have our first crystal of the match for Gus at 126. Moldorm has gone down. I think we found the mushroom, and that was about the most interesting thing in here. Not sure we've seen the potion shop yet. They've already done laser bridge, so shield upgrades are pretty at this point. Getting dead rocked, unfortunately. I think that Gus is taking the long way to East Death Mountain right now, so he may end up back in GT before Data gets there, actually. So that definitely negates any advantage Data had for knowing where GT was. Gus will be able to check the entire left side. Data may gain an advantage here though if they manage to get Cold Stare killed the first time in. Oh, looks like we're checking Dark Death Mountain first on Gus's side. He could theoretically just mirror here and go through this connector to get to the floating island instead of taking the long way actually, and I think that's what... Really don't remember what was actually on Floating Island, but we'll see here in a second. Just a compass, so we definitely didn't need that. I think he'll probably check Hera before he does anything, does too much over here. Oh, I don't think we've seen this yet either. Ice Rock Cave, see what's in here. Just 50 rupees. Yeah, I don't think we've seen, or he's gonna check Hera, I think, and then probably the top of Paradox, and then I think that he will be pretty likely to dive down into the middle drop there where GT is, because he has a way to turn a rock bridge, so he knows he can check those with him. They're getting his care package for Palace of Darkness out of here. He'll soon get a small pod. He actually has a lot more to check in Palace of Darkness, though. He chose not to hammer a jump. Looks like we will also get a check of the Turtle Rock main entrance that we have not seen yet. And Data Wait, Data got the big key to ice somewhere? Oh, and got the big key to Ganon's tower there. I didn't even see him pick up the big key to... Well, that could be an interesting thing. He will certainly have the ability to full climb Ganon's tower when he goes back. Where was that Ice Palace big key? Was it actually in Ganon's tower? I'm trying to think of what he checked that Gus didn't check. I guess we'll find out shortly if Gus jumps down here. I really don't remember what was in there besides the lamp, but let's find out. Yep, that was where it was. So go to Ganon's Tower to get the Ice Palace big key, to go to Ice Palace to get the Ganon's Tower big key. Good old cross keys logic. The question becomes, is there something good in the climb? We don't have a lot of keys for it yet, so it's not all in logic yet, but it could, given where Ganon's Tower is, it could make a lot of sense to go ahead and climb it while you're there. So I don't think we saw... I know Data did this room here, but I don't think... oh yeah, that's why he's not really coming back here that fast, because he did do the Stalfos room already, so there's less items technically for him to come here. But I still think that he should probably end up here. Alright, so dataplet on Cold Stare has a lot of health. Still has a couple of potions that he has yet to use, so he should be in pretty good shape here. Even with Renmail, Cold Stare puffs do a few hearts damage, so gotta be careful. Gets one puff down already though, so we're doing good. Gonna have to be careful here though. He's gonna want to drink his potion like real fast. Yeah, there you go. Alright, 2 puffs down, this should be good from here. Should even be able to take a few hits without worrying about it. Alright, got everything down on Cold Stare, so we do get the first crystal for dataplet here. The more important thing is that he was able to single dip Ice Palace, so that's going to save him some. And depending on, well, I mean, Gus should get the big key to GT when he goes back there, but depending on how Data uses that GT big key and whether something is good or upstairs or in the big chest, that could also save him a little bit of time on the other side. Well, looks like he's not quite sure where to go. He's not going to GT yet, it looks like. Although so far we haven't found a lot on the left side. We still have a few chests we can check. Alright, we're going to check this glove entrance on Data's side, which was Spike Cave. He should actually be able to get through this without too much trouble as well. I think he even has more hearts than Gus did. So I think he can make this. Don't think he has to waste his potion either. That should be the same GT key that Data already got by bomb jumping. Or the same castle tower key. Because he did at least get to the Stalfos room. Meanwhile, speaking of bomb jumping, Gus is getting a little bit... He's having a little trouble here. He's going to have to not lose any more health if he wants to be able to bomb. does have powder, so he can make the he can gain some health back here in the next room, but he's got it. Yeah, okay, there you go. Don't get hit. Well, looks like Data's gonna go ahead and finish Hera. Well, since he just picked up that big key, get some crystal, get a crystal on the board. And we've got 3 more items that Gus can currently access in here, so we'll see what we get. Oh, the boots. Ooh. Well, that is a good item to get. That leaves the big question marks being the GT big chest and whatever could be in the climb. Data would be able to do both of those things when he comes in here. So we'll see if he does that when he comes back again. It does open up a few checks for Gus, though. Don't think we've seen anything. I think we came out of one of the bonk entrances already, but I don't think we've seen the other 3 yet. Meanwhile, Data getting their big key to Misery Mire. It looks like Gus is going to take the lamp and sequence break to Mothula. Although Mothula is a pendant, so this could be unnecessary, but it's pretty easy to... And remembering that Ether takes all these Gyarados out, so they can get out of your way pretty easily. This bomb jump is very easy to do, although it looks like Gus is not doing the super easy strats. If you line up on the wall on the left all the way back, you can just slide over to your right, and you're good to go. Looks like he's doing the spin setup, which is not, like, super hard, I guess, if you know how to do that. But, yep, either way works. And Data getting his final shield and his second crystal of the... Gus getting a key here for some reason. He doesn't actually need it. He's got a hammer and red mail, so this is a doable fight, but he does have to be careful because the spikes do a heart of damage, so it can get out of control. Only need 4 hammer hits, though. Of course, the main problem being that if you hit Mothula at the wrong time, the spikes negate the damage to the hammer, so it could actually take you more than 4 hammer hits, technically. Looks like Data's going to check the Dark Cross chest, which we have not seen yet. We do a little pause buffering on Gus's side, manages to avoid damage that time. Still needs... Oh, there we go. One more hit, he's good to go. So he gets a pendant out of this, which may not be necessary. Just a small key to Turtle Rock. Logically necessary, but not strictly necessary, if you know where Laser Bridge is, which we do. We only have a small key to Desert Palace in the Dark Cross, which actually puts Landmolas in logic, given we know where the Desert Big Key is, which Data is not found yet, and I forget the location of it. Pretty sure it's fairly accessible, but I don't remember exactly where. Meanwhile, I'm not sure where Data is going yet. Still has not gone back to GT. He has the ability to get a number of items still out there. Oh, he's going to go to Desert, of course. And the boots are in GT, so he really wants to go to GT. Not that he knows that. Oh, but he gets a Master Sword, though. That's not a bad find. Graveyard Ledge, right. You can get to that fairly easy by saving and quitting at the old man. but it's understandable to not rush that, depending on what kind of stuff you still have on the. Meanwhile, Gus found the other side of Turtle Rock. I thought he had gone in here, but I don't remember how that went. Oh yeah, he died because he was trying to kill the Pokey with the hammer. So he ended up not coming back. He's got a little bit more health this time, and a sword, and a medallion or two, so this should be a lot. Also gonna go ahead and get these anti-fairies out of the way, given the problems they gave him last time. Data, meanwhile, finds the dam at Mimic Cave. So we hadn't seen a return to Turtle Rock Ledge yet from Gus, so. And we have the other key to Castle Tower, so everything in the well is locked behind 4 Turtle Rock small keys, although we've already found 2 of those. We are still missing a certain amount of items here that could be in the well easily. Got a map at the drain area, but we already had all the info, so that's not helpful. Where are you going? Back to town, so it doesn't look like GT yet. Not sure what he's chasing at the moment. Meanwhile, Gus is going to check Spiral Cave without the mirror, so he's isolating the dam for now. Oh, we do have the swamp small key, so I guess clearing swamp is a pretty good idea, so let's do that. There's another key to Turtle Rock, which puts us ever closer to Kakariko Well being in logic. And there's a fire rod, so that's one of the items off of our checklist that we needed. So, what are we missing? We need the cane, we need the Turtle Rock big key, and we need the Thieves Town big key. We also have not seen Misery Mire, but we should have the ability to get into every entrance at this point. So we should be able to find Misery Mire with what we have. So Cane, Thieves Town big key, and Turtle Rock big key being the big things that we're missing right now. Do still have a lot of places for those to be in as well. Meanwhile, it looks like Gus is making the play to get the Kakariko Well, and I don't entirely blame them for this. They found the boots, they've got both keys, that's 5 easy items. Well, not easy, but 5 items that they can get. They're still missing quite a bit, so... They also may feel a little behind because of taking that cold stare death. So this could be a way of possibly regaining some time. Data gonna go ahead and go left side, still missing 3 items, so pretty easy choice to make there. So it'll be very interesting to see what's in the well today. We only need 3 big ticket items that could be there for us. Have not seen the potion shop yet, I don't believe, but we haven't checked every entrance either by any means. For instance, I don't think we've checked any boots locked entrances so far. And what else is left? We haven't found our way to the top of Bumper Ledge either. By a connector. I don't think, obviously they haven't checked all the connectors. And Pyramid Crack, I think, is still a... I'm not even sure anybody ever checked the back of Old Man Cave, so that could just be our bumper ledge access there. Alright, there's a blue ball for Aghanim, because God forbid we get through this fight with that one. Alright, should be just a couple more hits left here, I think. Looks like left side didn't really do anything for us in Swamp. One more hit, I think. We keep getting blue balls. There we go. I expect Gus will rush straight to the lumberjack tree to see what he has won. Meanwhile, making our way to the back of Swamp, we still have 4 more items back here and a crystal for a crystal that will incidentally gain him access to the pyramid crack if he so. Looks like we're gonna get a couple of boots checks on the way to the lumberjack cave. They are in, yeah. We see a hint there, but Gus is skipping that guy. Doesn't want to talk to him. Half magic in the back of Swamp. Not really necessary, but nice to have, I guess. Alright, so the 2 boots entrances up north are nothing. Let's see what lumberjack holds for us. Data having to do a slightly slow Argus fight. Gonna try to double hook and do spins though. Oh boy, we have an Aghanim required seed today because we have the Thieves Town Big Key there. Big Key to Skullwoods, which is more of a fetch quest, but Thieves Town Big Key absolutely necessary. So good play for Gus. This is going to help him out. Of course, he hasn't actually. Has he seen Thieves Town? Oh yeah, he has seen Thieves Town. That's just sitting in Village of Outcast. That's where he got his glove. And I think he's going there right now, in fact. So now we're missing the cane, and we are missing the Turtle Rock Big Key. Now, if either one of those items is in the GT climb, and Data does that right away when he gets to GT and clears it, that could be helpful for him to be able to make up for the deficit of having not done Aghanim at this point. And he is going to Ganon's Tower right now, I believe. Looks like we're going to kill Helmasaur before we do anything else for Gus. I don't think we saw the bow side for either one of these runners yet. I think Data's best hope is that there's something in the climb of GT that he gets before Gus. Otherwise, he's going to have to hope that one of these items that we're still missing is in just some really dumb spot that he lucks into. The Ganon's Tower Big Chest is also on the table for something we haven't seen since Gus did clear GT without the GT. The bow side of pod wasn't really anything. We're gonna get a Helmosaur, and then I think that Gus will probably go back and hammer jump into the big chest just to clear that out. Data considering how they want to do this room since they don't have the Keysanity yet. I think the boots were the main interesting thing in the left side of GT that Data had not gotten to yet, and we'll if the big chest is anything. Do know that the lumberjack is beyond Ganon's tower today, so that is an extra item out of the climb. Could easily be Thieves Town Big Key, or sorry, Turtle Rock Big Key, or a cane upstairs. Of course, the ice rod is just deep into Pendant Ice Palace as well, or Eastern Palace that is as well. So Gus could be put off the ice rod for a little while too, potentially. And Helmsword goes down. Gus gets himself another crystal, which actually puts them on even footing. Nope, actually, just kidding. Data has one more crystal still. They have the same amount of dungeons down, but Data has more crystal. Speaking of Data, soon to their boots. We'll see if they want to do the climb after here. Did he do the big chest and I missed it? Oh, I hope he does not forget that. Don't think we've seen a hint for it. Yeah, it's on his way out, but that's not the fastest way to get there. Well, he gets another sword, so that's not nothing, but it's not necessarily the best advantage. However, he is going to climb, so if this is something, this could be pretty good. Because given where the Ganon's Tower Big Key is, it could be a long time before Gus ends up back inside Ganon's Tower. The second Castle Tower Key is in the big key chest with Turtle Rock, blocked by the 4 Turtle Rock small keys, but you know, the one that you can usually ignore the key logic for. I don't think Data ever went into the middle of Turtle Rock to get the item. I don't expect him to put that off for a huge amount of time, but we'll see what he finds up here in GT that could tell the tale of where he goes next. I feel like he doesn't have a huge amount of spots left anyway. Obviously, he's got all of Mire, which we should have access to. We should be almost out of entrances that Mire could be in as well. Meanwhile, we're seeing the back of Thieves Town. 4 items back here we could get. Actually, 3 items, because we don't know the Thieves Town small keys, so the big chest is isolated no matter what for Gus here. Data having picked up that temperate sword, this gauntlet is actually pretty nice to do now. All the way through it, just gotta get these land molas down, and I totally missed that hit on Gus. Didn't look like much though. We already knew that, so yep. Alright, so we're a couple rooms away from items on data side, so we can see if this climb is going to give him any kind of an advantage in this race. Alright, well we've got a cane of the blue variety, not the one that we really want. Let's see, blind's going to be another crystal for Gus, which he apparently doesn't know for sure yet, but we'll be finding out. Meanwhile, Data is just very close to some items, the first two items here in Ganon's Tower. Nothing on blind, so Thieves Town didn't really get us anything great. A small key to Skullwoods. So now he can kill Mothula logically, but don't think Mothula had anything that we really cared about. Alright, so we've got one more chest in Ganon's Tower and one more chest beyond Ganon's Tower. But so far we have not found anything great. Mothula has a small key to Turtle Rock, so technically we are required to get this Skullwood small key, to get the Turtle Rock key, to get the Castle Tower key, to get the Thieves Town big key, but we don't need it. Ooh, the book. We know one of the tablets just has a single arrow, but the other one is still a question mark. So the book could be interesting if whichever tablet doesn't have the small or single arrow has one of the things we're looking for. Alright, Gus has finished with Thieves Town and is going south. He hasn't checked south of Grove yet, it looks like. Nothing there. So where's he gonna go next? He does have I don't think he's checked the Dark Bonk Rocks yet over here. Which is one of the possibilities we have for Meyer. And it is not Meyer. Looks like Gus is not 100% sure where he wants to go right now. Alright, well we have a small key to Thieves Town. So this was logically required all the way to go all the way here, but not necessarily actually required to go all the way up here. Depends on what's in the Thieves Town big chest, obviously. So if the Thieves Town big chest or the book leads to something that one of the two items we still need, then Data's in great shape. But if not, he may have just spent time that he could not afford. Looks like Gus is gonna go kill the land molas. Don't believe he ever got around to key stealing. It looks like Data's checking the one item in Aghanim's Towers. That's gonna not incentivize him to want to come back here too fast necessarily. If he finds the second one, we'll see. Alright, so where is Data gonna go next? Looks like he's thinking of the top of Death Mountain again, but I don't remember what's up here that he would be so inclined to do. Oh, he's going to Turtle Rock, so this is going to be the castle tower key that he's missing. We will see if he wants to chase that. Oh, he's doing Ether Tablet actually first. So it's probably a little bit of both. Ooh, big key to Turtle Rock on the land molars. So that is one more item down. And Data finds the single arrow over here. Yeah, so Bombo's tablet could have something, but this is not the one that we needed to check. Also, Data does not have that big key to Desert yet, so that Turtle Rock big key could be another problem for them. The ice rod is probably the most obnoxious thing to get to that we know the location of for Gus. He also appears to not remembered that he can get which entrances he hasn't checked because he hasn't found the dam yet. So don't know where the cane is. That is our no mode item at the moment. Alright, Data getting that second castle tower key, but how soon will they chase that down? They still have a few options that are decent plays outside of going straight to Aghanim's. However, given that it's already 2 hours in, he may be inclined to do something crazy. Who knows? Meanwhile, we found our 4th Turtle Rock key that puts all of this in logic on the Desert Torch. Okay, so Data is going... Well, he may be going to Aghanim's Tower, actually. He's going the right way. Okay, I think he's doing it. Okay, yeah, he's going for it. So, this is good for him. The other thing he's going to need to do, though, is Graveyard Ledge. That's going to be a... That's really pretty close to a save and quit point, so he should hopefully do that sooner rather than later. Also, Gus is going to finally find the dam. He's making his way there. So wherever the cane is could be pretty important. And for Data, getting to Graveyard Ledge is pretty important at this point. Gus needs to get to the 4th, the big key chest of Eastern to get his Ice Rod as well. Although we don't know what's in the big chest around Armos either, obviously, because we have not found that big. There's also a couple of chests that he isolated in Pod that we have yet to see. So those are possibilities. We do know that we shouldn't need to do the right side of Ganon's Tower, at least, since we are going to be in Kane no mode. Although it is conceivable that we find the cane on one side or the other before we find whatever the other pieces they're missing. Alright, so Data's almost done with Aghanim's Tower. He's going to be pretty glad that he did that. Yeah, we still haven't seen Misery Mire, but we have very few entrances left it could be in. Kane could even be in Misery Mire at this point. I want to say Big Bomb is our strongest possibility left for Mire. I think they've checked just about everything else. So Gus is going to find his Fire Rod here. I forget where the Master Sword is. I know that Data found one sword in the GT big chest, but I forget where he found his master sword. Was it also in here, maybe? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Misery Mire is in Big Bomb. I can't think of any other entrances they have. Well, they haven't checked the back of Skull Woods, actually, so that's another possibility. I think about everything else is... Well, no, because we haven't found our way to Bumper Ledge either. So that is... The Light World version of that could be a thing as well. Has there any connectors we haven't checked, actually? Yeah, we're in Kane No mode. Don't know which runner's going to reach it first at this point. We have no idea where the Kane is. We do know that Gus needs to go to Eastern Palace for his Ice Rod. The big key chest. We know that Data is doing what he needs to get his Thieves Town big key right now, but he also needs to go to Graveyard Ledge to get his Desert big key, to get his Turtle Rock key from the Land Molens. The Kane is our biggest question mark right now. We have a few things that we haven't followed up on. Data did the GT climb and found the book. So that is a mystery. He also found the Thieves Town small key, and since he hasn't been at Thieves Town, the big chest there is a possibility that Gus was not able to check. We do have the Bombos tablet is the only thing we could check with the book. We already checked the Ether tablet, so... Yeah, Misery Mire is pretty much relegated to either the back of Skull Woods or the Big Bomb, as far as I can tell, though. So, shouldn't be hard to find. Like, we have the ability to get to it, no matter what. Obviously, if the Kane is in there, that's going to be kind of obnoxious, but I'm sure they want to try to find the Kane also before they try to find Misery. Meanwhile, Data's about to get his Thieves Town big key, so that's good. He will probably immediately go to Thieves Town and let us know if that big chest is going to come into play. Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad play to look for it, but they've been clearing the dungeons they can get to pretty much. I think they both made a couple of I feel behind plays. Gus took a death to Cold Stare, so when he got his second Castle Tower key, he just went for it. Data went up to upstairs GT when he went back to GT and didn't get much besides a book, and so that may have been his cue to say, I'm a little behind, let me just go ahead and do Aghanim. So I feel like that's kind of what we were looking at there. I think Data's trying to go to Thieves Town, realizing he could save and quit to the old man slightly faster that way. He also can go ahead and kill Helmasaur if he wants to. He will, if he doesn't hammer jump, he'll end up leaving a few items behind though in pod. So we should soon get some information about this big chest in Thieves Town and whether it hurt Gus to not have the small key going in. Meanwhile, Gus has killed Argus, gotten another crystal. Now has the ability to check Big Bomb for Mire if he. Yeah, if there's something in the Thieves Town big chest, that's pretty awful for Gus. He's kind of screwed if that's the case. I mean, the only thing it could be is the Kane. I think that we found anything else possibly relevant at this point. Eastern Palace big key, I suppose, it is a possibility. Meanwhile, Gus is going back to Cold Stare now. Yeah, I think Eastern Palace big key is literally the only other thing it could be besides Kane that would actually be productive. I mean, another pod key, I guess. because they haven't been able to check every chest in pod. I guess that's also it. Alright, so Gus taking another stab at Cold Stare. Will be able to get his GT big key out of here, and also take down Cold Stare this time. Where was that Master Sword that Gus or the Data got? I know he didn't get the Gus didn't get the chest, the sword in the GT big chest. Where's the other one that he's missing? Don't remember where it was. Alright, so very fast approaching the knowledge of whether or not Gus is in trouble here. Zora was nothing important, I don't think. Okay, it is a pod key, so that is more possible access to Palace of Darkness that Data can get that Gus currently does not have a way to get to. Although Gus has already checked a fair amount of Palace of Darkness by hammer yumping, Data chose not to do that. So we'll see what he does here. He's going to probably go to pod next. Gus getting his GT big key. So unfortunately he has isolated the Ganesh Tower big chest, and I think we know that there's no way to get to it by the right side from our current knowledge of where the items are, because we just don't know where the cane is. So he's going to have to isolate that, so that's not a sword that he will get unless he goes out of his way. Honestly can't remember where the hell the Master Sword was for Data though, so I don't know what other sword that Gus has not gotten. He'll need one of them at some point. I feel like the sword that the second sword that Data got was somewhere kind of stupid, but getting the Master Sword made it like kind of better. Whatever check it was. So I don't know. Well, let's see what happens when we go to Palace of Darkness here, though, because that pod key could be interesting. Well, except for we're going to check the Smith chain first. It looks. Maybe wait, was the Smith? No, the Smith's in the Lost Woods. Might have been better to check the Graveyard Ledge on your way to the Smiths here, but it's really still not that hard to get to the Graveyard Ledge. Wait, so he skipped a sword in Swamp? How would he have done that? Don't think it was left side, so there's no way he should have been able to skip it. Do you remember where it was? Because I really don't remember where the Master Sword was for Data at all. Was it Spike Cave, maybe? I know he failed at. I know he died in Spike Cave, so he didn't get to get that item. Yeah, Gus never key stole Desert Ride either, but I don't remember if it was there. I think the Desert Smalls and Dark Cross. Wait, is it just over here? Did he not go to Rando Room? Or is he just actually going to the GT Big Chest right now? No, he got the boot, so he should have gone this way. Yeah, he's literally just going to GT Big Chest. I think he may be climbing here as well. So he's gonna get a Master Sword at least. And then he'll get the book and Thieves Town Small Key by climbing, which were still kind of ambiguous on their usefulness. Yeah, the IP Big Key was accessible pretty early. Yeah, it is pretty much a 1v2 item go mode. The one thing we know that Gus needs to do is go to Eastern Palace and go to the big key chest for the Ice Rod. The other thing that we're missing is the Cane of Samaria. We don't know where that's at. It's not on the Bombos tablet, so thus far the climb of GT does not seem to have netted data anything 100% that we're 100% sure of. Depending on what's in one of these pod chests, maybe. Oh yeah, Data does need the Turtle Rock Big Key, so he's actually heading towards the key that will lead him to the Turtle Rock Big Key right now. So if he goes to the Land Molas right after this, then oh, never mind, he's not going to Graveyard Ledge, so he is isolating his ability to get to the Turtle Rock Big Key right now. It's still not hard to get back to, but he's got to go to the Graveyard Ledge to get that Desert Big Key, to get the Turtle Rock Big Key out the Land Molas. This is probably, well, this stands a good chance of being Meyer. Could still be Skullwood's back as well. No, I'm saying Meyer could be in Skullback, not that Meyer is, not that we need Skullback. And it's definitely in Skullback, I think, at this point. Ooh, Cane of Samaria, though. Well, that's interesting. I don't know if that puts Data in a good or bad position, really, because he still has a couple of steps to get to his Turtle Rock Big Key. But meanwhile, Gus still has a couple of steps to take before he can get his 2-go mode. I don't know which one of them is better off right now. I feel like Data's slightly better off, but I don't know, because he may do some crap that he doesn't need to with this Cane. For sure, he's probably gonna, he has a decent chance of finding Misery Mine in the back of Skullwoods and full clearing that for no. We do have a hint that the left side of Meyer is nothing, so he won't have to, like, do the slowest stuff in there. I feel like he's probably rushing Meyer with the hopes, or gonna rush to find Meyer at this point with the hopes that Turtle Rock Big Key is there. Because I think his main hope was that he could have the Cane before going to Misery Mire, which he did accomplish. The big question becomes, what does he do after he finds Meyer? Conversely, he could check Graveyard Ledge for his for Misery Mire before he checks Skullwoods, which would lead him to the big key that he needs to get to the Turtle Rock Big Key. Oh, he never checked this either. Interesting. Oh wait, was this the Desert Big Key? I thought it was actually on Graveyard Ledge. Oh, it was inside Graveyard Ledge, not on Graveyard Ledge. Okay. Just kidding. So, this is good for him. He needs that. Can be a little confusing to tell where things are in entrance, because things can be in the actual entrance or inside of whatever's usually in that entrance. Words are. So I think Data is heading towards Misery Mire right now. At least we assume this is Misery Mire based on our knowledge at the moment. He will full clear that. After that, his best bet is probably going to be to go kill the Land Molas. So he probably is in pretty good shape right now. Gus has got to take a couple of specific steps to get what he needs for go mode. Gus has to go to the big bomb, both the big bomb and the Eastern Palace big key chest. Neither of which of those are very fun to deal with in his situation. Also, doesn't seem likely he'll get the third sword at this point unless it's just in Mire, and he finds it on the way. Oh, this is a potion shop. Wait a minute, where the hell is Mire at then? Another key to pod. What have we not checked? Oh, wait a minute. Turtle Rock Front. We haven't seen that, have we? Turtle Rock Front to Bumper Ledge. Oh, I think that is possibility. Quake is on the pedestal, but I don't think we have any use for that. So, because I think we came out of Mire, so that's the only reason we would need that. So it seems like you may be expected to go to Turtle Rock Front to mirror on Bumper Ledge to get to Mire, which could be. Well, I think Data's going to take the long way. No, he's going to pod right now. So the best way for Data to do would obviously be to get his big key for Turtle Rock off of the Land Molas, then go kill Trinex, and then warp himself to the front to find Mire. But he has no way of necessarily knowing where the Turtle Rock big key is, so he may take the long way through the middle to get to Turtle Rock Front and get to Mire that way. Meanwhile, Gus has finished his climb, and we know that he's not getting anything that he needs out of this, unfortunately. We'll see what he wants to do after this. He's running out of really okay options too. He may try to rush and find Mire as well. Struggling to place a mirror portal at the moment. And in his rush to find Mire, he may in fact find the cane first, which would be good for him, although the only problem for him is if he finds the cane before the ice rod, he may do some things that he has no reason to do. Okay, I'm not sure what he's going after right now, but we'll see here in a minute. Data, meanwhile, on his way to Helmasaur, which will be another crystal for him. And then he could check a few more items in the back. I don't know if he'll hammer jump. Alright, so Gus looks like he might actually be going to the front of Turtle Rock. Maybe. Oh no, he's using the book to check the Ether Tablet. He could go to the front of Turtle Rock, though, from this point, if he really wanted to. That would have him finding Misery Mire without the cane, though, which would be kind of painful. Yep, nope, he's not doing it right now. Alright, where is Gus going? Oh, he's going to check the other tablet, which is not going to get him what he needs either. Meanwhile, Data has picked up another crystal, Helmasaur is down. Probably going to check a few items in the back, and then we'll see what he does from there. Gus seems pretty determined not to go into Eastern Palace without the big key, which is not good for them at this point. Yeah, it gives good things from time to time. So we still have 2 keys here on Data's side. If he doesn't hammer you up, he could still check Harmless Hellway and the big maze, or the dark maze, pretty easily. The fish is in the drop pool in some form or fashion. So yeah, whatever he gives depends on the seed. When you throw it back in the water, could be something good like 8 bombs. It could be something dumb like a 1. Alright, looks like Gus is gonna make it through Spike Cave this time. Do not remember what was here. Okay, so it's not the Master Sword, not the sword that Data found. Really don't remember. Yeah, people don't tend to use that fish, or throw a fish into the water, except for if they're doing something weird like in a... where it becomes more useful in that case, because there's also a lot more fish flopping around. Oh, Gus is going to Eastern before he finds his cane, so that's good for him, actually. So how long before Data turns the Desert Big Key into his Turtle Rock Big Key is the question. So this gives, let's see, Gus stands a real chance of running into his cane while he's trying to find Meyer, because I think going through the front of Turtle Rock will be the last thing anybody thinks of. I guess Data's going towards the dark bonk rocks over here. He had not done that yet. And where does he go from here? I think he forgot that you get spit onto the pyramid automatically when you have Aghanim killed and also have the mirror. So that wasn't where he wanted to go. Let's see where he wants to go. Alright, we got an old man quit. Save and quit. We've got the mirror out, so maybe this is the actual graveyard ledge check that I thought he was doing earlier. Where I thought the Desert Big was, but apparently it was slightly off. Pretty sure Gus checked this already, whatever it is. Data picking up that big 20 for reasons, I don't know. Alright, so where are you going, Data? We know where you probably need to go. Where are you going? Well, we definitely know where you need to go, because you need to go through the land molars. Oh, Gus has his ice rod. So we're back up on Dark Death Mountain. Oh, I think this is a right side GT check, which is unfortunately unnecessary. We're gonna get a Turtle Rock entrance check as well, though. I mean, he only needs a Turtle Rock Big Key, so it would make a lot more sense to chase entrances, but while he's in the area, I wouldn't be surprised for him to check the right side of GT, which he does not need to do. Meanwhile, Gus is back in the village area. I don't know exactly what he's going for. Ooh, if this is Big Bomb, Gus is about to be in go mode. Minus the knowledge of where Meyer is, although he should be getting close to that as well. Oh, he's going to check the back skull, what it looks like. This is also on his list of possibilities for GT. Oh, there's a connector here. I don't think we did see the other side of this, did we? Oh, well, this could be our way to Meyer as well. This could also go to Laser Bridge, though. And there's Laser Bridge. So it looks like we were correct about Turtle Rock front being the way. This is a way to get back to Ganon's Tower, though. We are going to get a right side check. It's an unfortunately unnecessary check, but it does make total sense to do. Meanwhile, Gus is not sure what he wants to do. He really needs to find Meyer, but he also could run into his cane on the way by checking Big Bomb. He's fluting, so this doesn't seem like a Big Bomb check right now. He's not fluting, so I don't know what he's doing now. Okay, he's in the right area to do Big Bomb, so this would get him his cane. Is he... Nope, he's not going the right way, I don't think. I think he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. Oh, Turtle Rock Big Chest. We haven't seen that, and it is a possibility for the cane, obviously. Crystal Roller Room as well, so obviously that's not where it is, but it is just dumb enough to be something that the logic would make happen. Data going to the back of him. We actually haven't seen this yet, I don't think either. Have we? Oh! So it turns out the front of Turtle Rock is in Ganon's Tower, maybe? Or did we just see the front of Turtle Rock this whole time and we didn't know, or I didn't see it? Let me see if I have Turtle Rock front on my map. Hold on. Okay, well I don't have Turtle Rock front on my map, but I guess we've seen it somewhere, because I'm pretty sure we're out of entrances at this point for sure. Oh, it's just in Turtle Rock. Or just in Kakariko. That's hilarious. So that's go mode for Data, though. Oh no, it's not go mode for Data. He doesn't have the Turtle Rock big key. He's gonna full clear this, but he doesn't need to do the left side anyway. Oh wow, I missed marking that pretty early then. Okay, so nobody ever went through the back of Old Man's Cave, which is kind of funny. They rescued Old Man like a million years ago. I mean, they got to not go to the GC or to Misery Mire without the cane, so that's nice, I guess, at least. So it kind of worked out in the end, I guess. Looks like Gus doing a little save, coming in Desert or Palace of Darkness to see if he could find his cane there. Obviously, not going. So once Data gets done with Misery Mire, he really doesn't have a lot of good options left. It won't take him long to get done here either. Oh wait, I think the entrance you're talking about is actually Turtle Rock. In Kakariko's Turtle Rock Laser Bridge. I'm looking at his map now, and it looks like Turtle Rock front is actually in Mini Moldorm Cave. At any rate, if he goes ahead and gets the, well, he could still check the Turtle Rock front in order to try to find the big key there, too. We'll see if he wants to kill the land molas before doing all that, though. I think he's using it the intended way. Oh! Is that the sword that Data found? I think that's the sword that Data found that we didn't know, or couldn't remember. Oh, we're on. We are on the same equipment now. We've both got the temperate. Looks like Gus is checking this last chest in Turtle Rock while he's here. We know this is not going to be the thing. Meanwhile, Data has made short work of Meyer and is already towards Vitreous. We'll see if he considers it more attractive to chase a pendant versus just seeing a Turtle Rock Big Key as vanilla, or vanilla-ish. We do know that once he has the Turtle Rock Big Key in hand, Laser Bridge is very easy to get to, so should not take him long. And Ganon is at the castle, I think. Depending on what everybody does next, this is still kind of close. But we shall see. I don't think that... Well, no, Gus can't check the front of Turtle Rock, obviously. So... that's not going to be a consideration for him. He's also not going to do right side GT. But speaking of the front of Turtle Rock, I think Data is going to do that first. And Gus getting a small key to Dark Palace after he just did a lot of save scumming in Dark Palace. So that probably doesn't feel great. We'll see what he wants to do next. It looks like he's running towards the big bomb, so this is good for him. This might actually get very close here very soon. Data's still got to do the land moles, though. Well, Gus still has to find Misery Mire as well. He's already cleared GT. Yeah, he was just in there doing the right side. He's really only gonna have doing the land molas left after this, I think. I think he's... oh no, he could do Mothula too. Oh, he didn't do Compass Room? Really? Oh, did he not have any... oh. Well, surely he doesn't go to GT over... ooh, I don't know. The other sword that Data had that we had forgotten about was in Harmless Hellwind Pod. Oh, I think he might do GT, actually, yeah. Oh, that's not good for him. Oh, Gus unfortunately lost his bomb and is gonna have to go back. Alright, so after this, I think after this, pretty sure Data's only going... oh, he's got the Eastern Palace Big Key. Where the hell was that at? Was that in Mire? Did I miss that? Okay, so no matter what, I'm pretty sure that once the Data gets done here, all he has left is killing any of the pendant bosses. So hopefully he goes to Desert first, but Eastern does have 3, oh, he got it in front of Turtle Rock, okay. Eastern does have 3 items technically attached to that big key, so he may go there first. But no matter what, he's down to... he has to kill a pendant boss at this point. It's pretty easy to get to both Eastern and Desert. It's technically easier to get to Desert and it has more items attached to it, so he may do that. There's our final Palace of Darkness key after all this time. Meanwhile, Gus is heading his way towards his cane, but he still has not found Mire yet. So he will be in go mode, but he will not necessarily... we're doing Eastern first. This is still not over by any means. Gus should have the ability to go mode Mire, which will save him some amount of time, though. The question is, has he been keeping track? How well has he been keeping track of entrances, and does he know he has not gone through the back of Old Man yet? It looks like he's just going to go ahead and kill Trinex first. So, and get that out of the way, maybe while he thinks of where he might need to go. Gonna have to be a little careful here. Well, he has a blue potion, or he could also use his powder, which he's gonna do. So Data's almost down to to Armos Knights. Not gonna find what he's looking for here, obviously. Where was Sahasrahla? Sahasrahla was in the back of Desert, I think, which is a pretty quick flute away, but hopefully he just goes ahead and clears Desert first. Although it would be understandable if he chose to flute to Sahasrahla. Don't believe we've gotten any kind of hint about what the green pennant leads to, anyway. Alright, try next down for Gus. That is crystal number 6 for him. So now we're 6 and 6. Waiting to see whether Data finds the Desert or Turtle Rock Big Key or Gus finds Meyer first. Data is going in the right direction, though, so this is good for them. So Data is heading towards Ergo mode. Gus needs to find Meyer. But how well has they been keeping track of their entrances? No, Data cannot kill Trinex yet. He has to kill the land molas before he can kill Trinex. But he has killed Vitreous, which Gus has not done, because Gus has not found his way to Meyer yet. Gus unfortunately going through a connector that we've seen both sides of, so I'm not sure if they just didn't have this marked down. But this is not what they are looking for. Had the right idea, but the wrong dark cave. And given that he's fluting, I don't think he is coming up with the right solution at the moment. Looks like he's thinking about what he wants to do and where he wants to go. Meanwhile, Data is swiftly heading towards his goal. We're going to Dark World for some reason. Don't know what it is that Gus would not have checked over here yet. Oh, maybe he never went through this connector, which was also useless. And go mode for Data, and he does know where to go, so I think Data just took the lead here. Yep, Gus is not going to where he needs to. It's very quick to get to Laser Bridge. In fact, it was just a flute away, so I'm not entirely sure why Data saved and quit there, but he can get there this way as well. Looks like he's going to Turtle Rock right, but I can't imagine why. Does he not remember that he has the fast way to Lizard? Oh, he remembers. Okay. Wait. Yeah, there we go. He just looked at his map. Gus is going to Sahasrahla, it looks like, for some reason, but I don't know why. He definitely checked this already. It seems like Gus may be somewhat out of ideas about where to go. What he really needs to do is go to the back of, or save and quit to the old man and just go out the back door. And since he is fluting, that still has apparently not occurred to him. Meanwhile, Data is rapidly approaching their final crystal, and they should not have too long before they finish here. Is there another connector over here maybe that Gus is chasing? Although I think he's been through all of them at this point. Well, they have something in mind, but this isn't where it is, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Data should shortly have Trinex down. It's freezing a little bit for me, so I can't quite tell what he's doing. Nope, I see a crystal, so I think we're good. No, Mothulu was killed by Gus, so it's not there. Is very few places it could be, but it's not there. I would assume off the green pendant at this point, because I think we've checked just about every damn thing else. I really think the green pendant is literally the only thing in the game that we have yet to see in some form or fashion. Meanwhile, dataplet has gotten all his crystals and is dropping to Ganon. Tempered sword, silvers, red mail, all the hearts. I think he'll be okay. Gus seems to think that he has mismarked an entrance, which unfortunately is not the case. What he hasn't done is he has not saved and quit from the old man and gone out the back door of his cave. So I think Gus is feeling a little bit lost here. Although it's not his tracking at this point, it's just that he's forgotten to do this one thing. Back a hookshot cave, which I'm pretty sure just led to race game. Alright, we're already in phase 4 for data. Yes, we did find the silvers. And we are 4 silver arrows away from putting a rest to this, get this seed. Looks like a nice double there, so one more and we're good to go. Alright, Ganon is down, get your GGs in chat for data. This is unfortunately an elimination match, so that does eliminate Gus from the tournament. We'll see if Data wants to come in here for a interview. Looks like Data's going to join us in chat instead of doing an interview. Meanwhile, Gus continues to look for Misery Mire, it appears. Just doesn't know that he hasn't saved and quit to go out the back of the old man. It is something that has tripped up people in the past. It can be something that's a little obscure and hard to think of when you have access to the entire world. So we'll see. Looks like he's going to keep looking for now. Meanwhile, Data is going to go on to face Maximum Barnage in the next round of the lower brackets. So GG to him again. Alright, we'll see. Gus is definitely like rechecking all the entrances now, which is definitely not going to lead them to Misery Mire, so see what they want to do. Looks like they are thinking about it. Not sure where they want to go. And while Gus is searching around, it's a good opportunity to remind you to follow these runners. They've done a pretty decent job of running the seed. And thanks to our trackers, Febreze Ninja and Norinato, who is also doing double duty as our restream. And of course, thanks to ZSR for having it. Alright, so Gus is going to recheck the top of Death Mountain, it looks like. Not going to find what he needs up here, obviously, either. And he knows he needs an entrance, so he's not going to keep checking. He's not going to keep checking items which are available to him, because all he needs is the Misery Mark entrance. So even though he has items available to him in Turtle Rock, he knows that is not what he needs to do. So he will not be getting the Eastern Palace Big Key at any point. And he will also not be checking the Turtle Rock or the GT right side either with that cane. Although speaking of GT, he is in the neighborhood if he really feels like it. So Data has joined us in chat. GG Data. So as you can see, your opponent has not found Misery Mire yet. Has not occurred to them that they can go through the back of the Old Man exit. Although they did have a earlier advantage as far as finding the gloves and all that faster, and also taking the he also did the play to Aghanim 1 a little bit faster, but I think that was because he did he took a death on Cold Stare, which made him feel behind. So getting that second Castle Tower key pushed him a little forward. Oh, it looks like it finally occurred to him. He's going to find Misery Mire. Yep, here we go. Good for him. You did climb Ganon's Tower first. I was thinking that you probably found Ganon's Tower climbed Ganon's Tower first because you probably went to Aghanim's Tower fairly quickly because you climbed Ganon's Tower and didn't really get anything. Because you also did it relatively quickly. It looks like Gus has found Misery Mire and knows what he needs to do, but does not want to do it, which is understandable. So he has stopped, and he will join us here shortly. Yeah, in the end, it was a little hard to tell who was in the lead because there was a couple of different things that everybody needed to do to get where they needed to go. And I think the only thing we didn't see in the game between both runners was the green pendant turn-in, which I assume had the 4th sword. Unless, Data, did you do Harmless Highway? I think you did, right? Oh, so that was the 4th sword. Where did you get your Master Sword? Because that's the one that we didn't see Gus get. We know you got your Tempered and GT in the big chest. But I just don't remember where you got Master Sword. Meanwhile, we are joined by Gus. GG. Or maybe we're not. I could be wrong. Okay, I think we are joined by Gus. Gus, can you hear me? GG. If you're trying to talk, I think you're still muted. Alright, well, Gus, I think, needs to get his mic situated. There we go. GG, Gus.
Thank you.
So, what'd you think about this seed?
Well, I think I have repressed most of the seed already, so I only remember it was kind of horrible.
It was certainly an interesting chain of events that you guys mostly managed to short circuit. You saved the old man, which gave you the shortcut to the western side. You were supposed to actually get the flippers and swim over to Pod and get the mirror and, do some other stupid crap. I think your mirror to get the lamp in GT and then finally save the old man and get over there and get your gloves and all that, but you guys short-circuited all that. So that was kind of silly. You were also supposed to climb GT so that you could get the Skullwoods small key to get the Thieves Town small key, put all that in logic, and the Skullwood small key gave you the 4th Turtle Rock small key, which put Agate Tower in logic, so it was technically required, but not technically necessary, although both of you did do it. I think between the two of you, the only thing we didn't see was green.
Yeah, I mean, after I did the whole GT climb and followed that kind of chain of events and eventually didn't really lead to anything, I kind of figured out that it was probably GG at that point.
You actually had a couple of early advantages. You did the old man save first and found all that stuff, all the good stuff on Western Darkwood first. You also did take the Aghanim Tower trip first. I'm assuming because you took the Cold Stare Death and felt like it was possibly the best way to save time if there was something there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was shortly after GT, I found both the Castle Tower keys and the lamp, so I mean, it seemed likely that it could be something.
Yeah, yeah. In the end, you were searching for your Ice Rod and Cane. Data was searching for the Turtle Rock Big Key and Cane. So it was kind of a toss-up to who was going to get to what first. Data still hadn't found the Desert Big Key either at that point, so couldn't really tell who was going to get to where they needed to go first. If you had found Meyer a little bit faster, it would have been pretty close. But yeah, they not remembering to go out the old back of old man is something that can be a common pitfall for entrance runners.
I mean, I was just looking for that entrance to Meyer, but I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, actually, Data didn't do it for a while either, so I kind of got both of you in the.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, this does eliminate you from the tournament, but GG on getting this far, and GG to Dataplet as well. They're going on to face Maximum Barnage. And do you have any final thoughts on the seed or the tournament or anything else?
No, I mean, I have enjoyed playing the tournament, so I mean, I would love to play more, but it was fun, and I hope to play more in the future. So.
Well, we're always running entrance races at random times of the day, so feel free to join in. There's plenty more entrance where this came from, even not tournament related.
Yeah, this was kind of my first dip into entrance randomizer. I hadn't really played a lot of that before, so I was kind of unsure going into the tournament whether I will enjoy it or not. But I actually think this is even more interesting than regular random now. So.
Yeah, if you're into the puzzle aspect of randomizer, this certainly fulfills that a lot better than just regular open. There's a lot more pieces to put together, so it can be pretty fun if you're if that's the aspect of rando that.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's kind of overwhelming at times, but that's just part of what makes it interesting, I think.
Yep, we've all had our tracking issues in the past, and probably in the future as well. GG again, and make sure you follow these runners. They did a pretty good job here. And thanks again to our trackers, Norinato and Febreze Ninja. Norinato also doing double duty as our restreamer. And thanks to ZSR for having us. Let me see real quick if there's anything else on the schedule for the day. Well, actually, currently for the tournament, there's nothing on the schedule until Wednesday, but that could possibly change depending on when people schedule their matches, so stay tuned. And I'm not sure. There's usually some other form of game running on Zelda speedruns as well, so check the regular schedule as well. Thanks for joining us, though, and I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up.
Yep,
So everybody,
just 6 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UTC is going to be the Ocarina Time Randomizer Weekly North American Accessible, and I think that's probably going to be it for the day. So that just want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Big shout out to Residor for doing solo commentary, and also thanks to my co-tracker Febreze Ninja. So thanks guys, and GG's to the runners. Take care, and we'll catch you another time.
See you around.